Hi Spirit Fam, welcome to the channel. Today I have a beautiful pick a card on your 2024 predictions and the energy for 2024. Welcome back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, welcome to Eileen into Spirit. My name is Eileen Rouse. I am a psychic intuitive, a spiritual coach, and a sound healing practitioner. If you are coming back to the channel, welcome back. We are so happy to have you here, and we appreciate each and every single one of you. I want to remind you all that this is going to be a general reading. So that means it is not going to resonate with every single person out in the collective. So I ask that you take with you what resonates and leave the rest behind. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right into your piles for your 2024 predictions. Okay, Spirit Fam, here are the 4 piles that you get to choose from on the 2024 predictions and what is going to be coming up for you this coming year. So pile 1, we have this beautiful blue obsidian, which is partnered by Angel Amityville with the message of revelation. So this is pile 1. Pile 2 is going to be this beautiful lapis lazuli with Archangel Michael and its message of the vision. Pile 3 is going to be this crimson cuprite with Ascended Master Mataji and the message of relief and repair. And pile 4 is going to be this beautiful Amazonite with Goddess Rhiannon and the message of integrity. So what I want you to do at this time here, Spirit Fam, is I want you to go ahead and take in a nice big deep breath and allow yourself to get real centered within your body, allowing your own inner guidance, your inner oracle to speak to you and help you gravitate towards a specific pile that is calling out to you. So once again, we have pile 1 with blue obsidian, pile 2 with lapis lazuli, pile 3 with crimson cuprite, and pile 4 with amazonite. So without further ado, Spirit Fam, let's go ahead and dive into your 2024 predictions. Welcome, pile 1. You have chosen this beautiful blue obsidian with the message of revelation. So we are going to dive right into the message of this card as it is going to give you insight and clarity on your 2024 and what you can expect from this upcoming year. Now, this beautiful revelation card, this is a crystal mandala, and it is partnered with Angel Amityville. And so its message is all about giving you the gift of revelation. And I feel that what 2024 is really going to give you and what it's going to present to you is a bunch of revelations about your life that will be coming full circle. So this could be that you might actually start understanding why certain things occurred in the past the way that they did. And you might have a better understanding of different choices that you are ultimately having to make this upcoming year. So the message with revelation is that there are times when not knowing is actually quite helpful for you. During such times, you develop unconditional trust in the universe. That trust will then support you in living your life according to your personal truths. You need a lot of trust in yourself and in life to live with such courage. Not knowing the bigger picture can help you stay focused on what you need to do right now, rather than getting overly excited about the future, which can then make you become distracted from the work that needs to be accomplished in the present moment, unwittingly slowing you down, slowing down your progress, and delaying the very future that you want to draw closer to you. However, there are other times when it is more helpful to know, to understand, and to see what is actually going on in your world. A particular truth will help you gain perspective, let go of the past, heal an old wound, feel safer, feel more loved, more empowered, and ready for the next step that is coming in your life journey. This is one of those times. 2024 is bringing you this helpful gift of revelation because now you are ready to know the deeper truths in your life. This is a beautiful start here, Pile 1, to your 2024. I do feel that it is going to give you a lot deeper truths, better understandings, having so much clarity and guidance on what is up ahead for you. And I feel that ultimately this is the most important thing for you because I feel that ultimately this is going to give you all of the insight that you ultimately need to help you further along in your year. So let's go ahead and dive in a little bit deeper. So we have fill your cup with sacred giggles. I absolutely love this because I feel that sacred giggles is all about being willing to sort of not look at life so seriously and really be willing to, find the joy, find the harmony in your every single day. I feel that this is like one of the biggest important messages because I feel like so many of us are trying really hard to get to like that next step, that next goal, right? And just like the message with Revelation on, letting you know that sometimes there are times when not knowing what is up ahead is probably the best for you. And then when you are given those little glimpses or those little pieces of insight, that is what you can look forward to. And I feel like the biggest message with Revelation is about just being present in the moment. The sacred giggles is all about being present, and it's all about, understanding all of the little things that occur in our everyday life that we get to enjoy, that we get to partake in, that we get to experience and explore. And it's really about finding those moments and allowing ourselves to be joyful, to be grateful, to be in those moments. The stop, drop, and ground is another important message because I feel like when you allow yourself the opportunity to just be present, you're more grounded. You're able to get more clarity and have a deeper sense of closeness to that higher aspect that will provide you with the understanding that you need, that will give you that revelation, that aha moment as you continue through the year. And I feel that as you go through the year, there's going to be times where things are going to come up and they're going to feel unsettled and they're going to feel like, I just don't know. There's a lot of like uncertainty in it, and that's okay. Try to find the beauty and the joy in those moments of uncertainty, in those moments of non-clarity, because you're going to get bits and pieces of, teachings in those little, bits of uncertainty and not knowing that are ultimately going to help you, to provide you with the next step. Right? We oftentimes don't look at it that way, but Pile 1, this is really giving you the starting tools for making big changes in 2024. And I love seeing this for you because, we have to understand that, I feel like when we're wanting to make good significant changes in a year, it's important for us to be very aware of where we are and how we feel in those moments and not dismiss the little things. Because when we get too hung up on one thing, then we miss everything else. We miss other important pieces that go along with our journey. Okay. And I feel that, with the filling your cup, this is really about celebrating. Okay. When you get to the beginning of the year, we all get really excited and we're joyful in the aspect that, yes, we get to start over. We get to start fresh. But I think it's important that you also honor where you were before jumping into 2024. So really, be kind and generous to yourself when you're reviewing your 2023 year. Really look at, all of the things that were still left unfinished and understand that that's okay, right? That just means that there's more work that's involved with that. But this is really about, closing the loop on all of the things that you did accomplish and, recognizing that, honoring that, recognizing that you have closed the loop on certain projects, on certain relationships, on certain things that now leads way for you to grow, to be able to nurture and, nourish other projects, other relationships that will eventually blossom throughout the year. And I feel that that's important for you to know that. I feel that that in and of itself is going to give you a lot of aha moments, a lot of revelation as we, move forward. So let's go ahead and dive into your tarot message for this 2024 year. So we are starting off strong here, pile one, with the King of Inspiration. So it is the Muse of Inspiration, which is the King of Wands. And I absolutely love this because what this is ultimately saying is that, the King of Wands basically is willing to take charge. He's willing to step up to the plate and, make himself known about, being inspirational and moving towards success, right? So this is what I call the finish line, right? So I feel that as you transition from 2023 into 2024 here, pile one, you need to recognize that as you approach the finish line, you are like a phoenix rising out of the ashes, out of all the things that didn't, come full circle, that weren't successful. You are now rising out of those ashes and starting over, starting fresh, leaving all of the other things that didn't pan out behind. Okay. This is about thinking big, going, making sure that you're thinking beyond. So I feel that in 2024, I feel that you need to either go big or go home. That's like the biggest, big sign that I have here for you, pile one. It's this, reminding yourself that as you go through the months this year, take action. What are your inspired action steps that you have to take on a day-to-day basis that ultimately lead you toward monthly goals, toward yearly goal, right? And so this is really about you thinking big, being the visionary, taking the lead on projects, relationships, all of the things that ultimately will start naturally, coming towards you. Because I feel like you're very inspired. And the reason I chose the Muse Tarot is because the Muse is all about thinking creatively, about creating. And it's all about how we ultimately create our reality and our lives. And so as you go into 2024 here, and I want you to really keep this in mind here, pile one, you are starting out strong with the King of Wands here, the Muse of Inspiration, because this is ultimately letting you know that you are the leader. You are ultimately the creator of your own destiny and your own reality. And you got to think big and you got to do what is required of you in order to to basically fulfill these successes that are here for you. And it's about being very clear that you don't create unrealistic expectations. Okay. I feel that is ultimately a big thing here for you. Next, we have the 7 of Inspirations here. Now, the 7 of Inspirations is in the reversed position. And I will tell you that I normally don't read these cards in the reverse position, but I feel that this is going to be important for you because if you are taking inspired action this year and you are being the leader, right? That means that you should not default this year towards other people making decisions or making choices. And you know, the 7 of Inspiration is all about defending your position. And so I feel that if it's in reverse, I feel like you might have a tendency this year to not defend your position. You might have a tendency to allow others to take advantage of you or, you know, really try to manipulate certain situations. But you also, I'm going to say this because this is coming up and I feel this very strongly here for you, Pile 1. This is not the year that you want to external validation for the things that you ultimately create. The most important thing that you need to recognize is how do you see yourself this coming year? How do you see yourself in 2024? What are you going to do different? How do you see what you create? How is that valued to you? How do you internally feel about it? Because it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. It's what you think. And I feel that 2024 is really going to be the year where you need to step up. You need to honor yourself and you need to work hard for what you want and recognize that no one else has to like what you're doing. Next, you have the Ace of Pentacles here. So this is the Ace of Materials. So this is beautiful because what this is ultimately saying is that it is offering you an opportunity here of new beginnings, right? So you're moving into a brand new year. You're moving into a brand new year full of, you know, new beginnings that is going to offer you so much more than what has been offered to you before, right? And the wonderful thing with the Ace of Materials is that this is, you know, fresh, new, exciting roots that are being, you know, sort of planted as we move along in the year. It's also about securing your wealth and having a deep sense of security in your actions and what you're doing and what you're creating because it is helping you build towards your future. And this is great because I want you to understand that this year, you're going to have all of the resources that you need in order to make your goals become a reality this year. So I feel like if 2023 was the year where nothing, you know, worked out, or if you felt like there were bits and pieces of the puzzle that were missing, that isn't this year. This year, you are going to feel so secure and so confident in yourself and what you're creating and what you're doing and where you're going that you're gonna just push forward with that. And I absolutely love that for you. Because look, yes, so 2024, you have the world, the cosmos. So I feel that whatever it is you're creating, whatever it is that you're working on here, Pile 1 for 2024, this is the year where you actually complete those goals. You complete those projects. You know, whether you're actually trying to find the one, I really feel like this is going to be the year for passion and desire and really being passionate about, people or passionate about the things that you're actually working on. I feel that you're going to be so elevated and so enlightened by what you are going to learn and grow from this year, that you're going to basically ascend to a new cycle, a new level. And this year is really going to be the year for you to really move forward. And I feel this is going to be the year where you become the one that people ultimately look towards, that they look to, because look, we have the Queen of Inspiration here. Now, I'm not going to sit here and talk a lot about this here, Pile One, but you've started out with the Muse of Inspiration and now you've ended with the Queen of Inspiration. So here's what I'm kind of seeing this as. And I'm not going to bring relationships, like finding the one or the relationship with this, because this is the Muse Tarot. And so I feel that you are starting out 2024 as the year where you are deeply inspired and you deeply want to take action and charge towards, creating this one thing that you've been dreaming about for so long. And I feel that as you continue and to do that and you take guided action, you are ultimately going to be the go-to person for that one thing. And people are going to look up to you and they're going to see how far you've come in such a short time. Because no matter how you look at it, a year is a very short time for you to ultimately reach success. And you're going to be in that limelight, I feel here, Pile One, where people are going to look up to you and they're going to ask you, how did you do it? How can I achieve what you've achieved in a year's time? And you're going to feel so confident and you're going to feel so magnificent about what you've accomplished this coming year, that you are going to be soaring on new heights. And I freaking love this. I can't even begin to tell you how much I love this, but I do. I absolutely love this. Okay. So now we are going to move on. Okay. So what else can we look to? So we have the wilding here. Now, the wilding is really about, I look at it as, and you can't really see it here, I really look at the wilding as a card of, taking risks, okay? So you have the wilding, you have get wild, you have get curious. Okay, yeah. So I feel that this is the year where you're going to have to really explore your wild side. You're going to have to be ultra creative and you're going to have to really, take some risks and be willing to travel down paths or do things that other people haven't really tried before. And that's the whole point about getting curious, and then ask your body. So here's what I feel this is ultimately trying to tell you here, Pile One. I feel that ultimately, as you go through the year and whatever it is that you ultimately are working on, it is ultimately going to be you're going to have to take risks. You're going to have to explore. You're going to have to really use your intuition, because I feel that by utilizing that, by doing that, it is ultimately going to give you insight and inspiration that other people might have never gotten before. I feel that's why we started off here with the, Revelation card. The wilding is all about, making sure that, 2024 is a time to connect to the most primal parts of yourself, right? Exploring the deeper parts of yourself that ultimately you sort of put the blocks on, right? And that this may mean that, you're going to have to sort of go into hermit mode a lot more here, Pile One, because again, remember, it's not about, what other people think your creation or what you're doing. It's about what you think. So I feel that here with the wilding, this is really about you going into hermit mode and really just doing some introspection internally and really just listening to your gut, listening to your instincts, right? Now, the Get Wild card. This is interesting because, you know, the Get Wild card is all about, you know, if we understand that the wilding is all about our primal parts, right? Now, the Get Wild card is really about, you know, connecting with our inner wild nature and sort of bringing that into balance. Now, this doesn't surprise me because I feel like if you don't really go to hermit mode quite a bit, then that seems out of balance. That seems out of place for you. So I feel this is where you're going to have to sort of build a routine and sort of find harmony and balance in order to, you know, be that standout queen of, you know, inspiration so that you can be the go-to person. That's literally what that is saying here. Next, we have Get Curious. Okay, now this is about being willing to explore, okay? And it's about understanding that you have to have a positive mindset about anything that you really go into. And when you have that positive mindset, that means that you have to be willing to be curious. You have to explore different avenues, different paths, doing different things that you might not have never thought of doing before, okay? It's really about, you know, understanding that curiosity is the bridge that shifts our thought patterns, right? When we allow ourselves to be curious about something, we're willing to explore it a little bit further. We're willing to dig a little bit deeper about it. And I feel that ultimately paves the way for us to finding success. And maybe this is how you're going to really find the success or complete what it is you're trying to create or work on this year in such a short time, because you're willing to sort of step outside of your comfort zone a little bit and be a little curious about, you know, what is actually, you know, what's my best course of action. And I'm not going to lie here, Pile One. By you really going into hermit mode and really sort of tuning into your inner guidance and allowing your intuition to guide you, that is ultimately going to lead you toward making better conscious choices. Now, ask the body. So this is where I feel that how your intuition is ultimately going to speak to you. And I want to point out that, you know, a lot of times when we're really working really hard on something that we're trying to create or something that we're trying to do, sometimes we can overlook how exhausted we are, or we can overlook how hungry we are. So I feel that this year is really about you being very aware of how your body is feeling, making sure that you tune in to all of the internal cues here about when you're tired, when you need rest, when you need to eat, when you need to drink water, all of those things. And I'm just going to point this out because this just happened. So when we started your reading here, Pile One, this candle right here was lit aflame and it is slowly burning out. And so the message here is that because you're going to have so many inspired ideas of what you're ultimately going to want to create, and there's going to be so much work that needs to get done because you have to take action this year, you don't want to have burnout. That is the most important message that I can give you here for 2024. You want to really look for burnout, and you want to make sure that you're listening to the cues that your body is giving you about, you know, making sure that you're hearing what your body is saying and that you're tuning into that internal guidance system. Okay. Next, we have TikTok and Here and Now. Okay. So here's the important thing. TikTok is all about divine timing. And it's about understanding that, you know, there are certain specific times when things happen, and sometimes that is out of our control. But it's also about recognizing that you have to be in the present moment. Stop planning for the future. And again, your entire message here with Revelation was all about being present in the moment and understanding that, you know, when you're focused on the present moment, that helps you build momentum towards something in your future, right? But if you're too busy focusing on the past of what didn't work, or you're too busy trying to plan ahead, then you're missing all of the little golden nuggets that are available for you here in the present moment. Okay, so 2024 is really a year of you being focused on the present moment, being focused on the things that are happening right front and center in that moment, right? So it's not about, you know, it's almost like they're wanting you to understand that 2024 reduces to, so 2024, when we look at it in numerology terms, it reduces to an 8, right? So 2 and 2 and 4. So that's 4 and 4 is 8. So 2024 is all about the 8, which is all about prosperity. It's about manifestation. It's about moving, making sure that we are putting in all of our assets towards creating something beautiful and magnificent. But while we are putting all of our stuff in one basket to ultimately manifest a life of our dreams, we cannot forget about living presently, okay? That is the ultimate most important thing for you here. Your last and final message for 2024, okay? Which I feel ultimately, just out of all of the cards here, pile 1, the 2 most important cards for you are going to be the first card that was laid down for you and the last card, okay? Your last and final card is release the petals. So this is about transformation. This is about a death and a rebirth. This is about shedding, and it's about change. So 2024 is going to be the year where a lot of things are going to be revealed to you here, pile 1, and you're going to recognize what is no longer serving you, and you're going to let those things go. This is going to be the year where you make massive changes in your life, and your life is going to be completely transformed. Don't worry so much about what all is happening. Again, focus just on one thing at a time in the moment that you're in it. And don't try to worry about the bigger picture. I feel like for you, it's really it's important for you to just not really focus on the big picture, but focus on the picture in front of you, like that one little square that is in front of you at that moment. So pile 1, this is your message for 2024. I hope that this provided you with some insight and clarity on what your 2024 is going to look like. I want to thank you so much for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you next time with your new message. Bye, guys. Hi, PileTwo. Welcome to your 2024 prediction. You have chosen this beautiful lapis lazuli card with Archangel Michael and its message of the vision. So your 2024 is starting out with a very inspirational, motivational, and giving you a sense of purpose with the vision. So this card is really speaking to you needing to understand that you have many abilities and you have the capacity to do numerous things with your talents, your time, and your energy this year. We know that, and this is your guides and your angels here speaking, wanting you to know that your heart yearns for meaningful, focused purpose this year. And you might have been feeling that there there needs to be more. Like you feel that there has to be a deeper meaning or a purpose as to why you are here, okay? You have things that you want to accomplish. Perhaps there are many times that you feel as though you are attempting to live more than one life in a lifetime. Now that could be that because maybe you have so many desires and so many desires to do so many things. And in your mind, you're thinking, how is this possible? How could I possibly, get all of these things accomplished all within one lifetime, right? So you need to know first and foremost that you can benefit from having a vision in place. Something that basically integrates all you want to do into one unifying purpose. Okay, that even if you do not see how it is possible for all of your talents and your dreams to be woven into one master vision, know that love makes all things possible according to its own creative intelligence and wisdom. So the universe here is speaking to you and wants you to know that it will take care of all of the details for you. And it's going to basically, take all of it and sort of weave it into one big master plan, one big master vision, right? Now, how this is going to happen is where you're needing to just relinquish control of how it happens, when it happens, because you have to remember that everything is in accordance with divine timing and your own readiness, and it shall be gifted to you in a vision. So I feel that ultimately here, what they are saying for 2024 for you is that, never really look at things as impossible. Never look at things as there's just no way that it could happen or it's not feasible. Like never look at things that way. You have to basically have a desire. Your desires, your intentions and the actions, your words, your beliefs, everything has to align to that thing, right? It all has to align to that vision. And having that vision and asking for your guides and your angels in the universe to just mold it all into one big master plan, that can be done, but it requires you to have faith, to trust that your team is going to mold this vision together for you, that they are going to put in all of the pieces of the puzzle and provide you with the key to unlocking that master plan and that vision. So I feel for you here, this is very important. Now, your card here is a number 8. Thing for you here, PileTwo, is that you have to sort of keep within your own awareness, and you have to be aware of what your beliefs are when it comes to being wealthy, being prosperous, having, all of those dreams come true. You have to be in alignment with your desires of wanting that. And again, just like this card says, when it says, it's all in accordance with divine timing. So that means that it's you don't need to figure out the how or the when. You just need to allow it to happen and allow it to be and enjoy it and partake in it. Okay, so let's go ahead and dig a little bit deeper here, PileTwo, because I feel like you have a really deep, important message for you here in 2024. So the first thing we have is the distraction of shiny things. Okay, now I feel this is important here because what this is ultimately saying is that you might actually be distracted by other things that sort of come into play. And I feel that when that occurs, you tend to lose focus. you lose track of where you are, what you're doing, what you're intending. And it could be that that's because you're really not sure. You're not very clear about what it is that you're desiring and what you're wanting. And the distraction of shiny things is coming in because it's wanting you to be aware of when you get distracted. What are those things that are often distracting you from manifesting or creating the things that you ultimately want to have? Right? I think the important thing for you to know here is that you have to take note of your strengths and leverage those strengths, right? So that means that you have to be willing to, polish yourself, right? What are the things that need to change within yourself? And maybe your choices, your actions, the things that you say, your verbiage, right? All of those things have to be polished in order for you to be able to create and be in alignment with that vision, okay? Now, you also have to have discernment, right? Because again, I feel like if you are easily distracted by outside things or things that look better or shinier or more sparkly, right? Again, it's diverting your attention. It's diverting your focus. It's distracting you from ultimately focusing on the one thing that you want. And I feel that discernment is really important because you have to discern what you're going to spend your time and energy on, what you're truly going to focus on. Are you going to spend the first part of your year really goofing off, or are you going to start working towards certain specific goals and tasks and duties in order to have this vision, this master plan that you are ultimately wanting to have, right? Knowing exactly what is right for you and what is not right for you is important for you to understand. It's important for you to be aware of that. And again, I feel that if you're easily distracted by shiny objects or shiny things or things that are different, maybe it's because you're really not 100% sure of what it is that you are wanting to experience or that you're wanting to have. And I feel that is important for you to know. You have to know exactly what is right for you and what isn't, because what works for one will not necessarily work for the other. And that is very, very helpful information to know, because you don't want to be working towards something that you know isn't going to work for you, doesn't give you the right vibes or the right vibration or frequency in order to create that. So that's important. Next, we have creator air. And I love this because what is this year? This year is all about creation. It is all about creating the life that we ultimately want to have, and it's about manifesting. Now, creator air is basically, it is about being an eagle, right? It's about being so crystal clear and using your logic and your critical thinking and using the energy of the mind, your conscious mind, and utilizing all of those things to ultimately create and shift you into the experiences that you are ultimately wanting to have. Now, I want you to really focus here that with creator air, right, it's wanting you to understand that air is all about our beliefs, and it's about how we communicate. And I feel that if you don't have a good handle on your beliefs, and you're not analyzing those beliefs, and you're not really critically thinking about those beliefs and how you ultimately feel about those beliefs, then understand that if your sense of clarity when it comes to beliefs is not 100% crystal clear, then how you communicate what it is you are desiring will not be 100% clear. That you need to be very aware of here, PileTwo. So 2024 is all about cutting out all of the bull crap that you know is not for you and not putting in your time and your energy on those things, and really focusing in your attention on the things that are for you, that do work well for you, that do align with your thinking and your beliefs, and move towards them. Okay? So I feel it's important for you to, really dive deep into your critical thinking, into your mind, into your conscious mind, your unconscious mind, and really, dive into those beliefs. Also, really, start focusing in on your body, right? Go outside. Notice how your body feels in certain environments, in certain places. That's how you know when you're in alignment with something and when you're not in alignment with something. I feel like your body is going to be the best key indicator for you here, PileTwo, on what exactly is vibrationally aligned with you, right? And I feel that that's important for you to know, because if you're not aware of that, then you're not going to really have a good idea of what's for you and what's not for you, okay? And your last card is manifesting and doing. Perfect. This is going together so well. So if the universe is trying to devise and create this master vision for you, this master plan that you have been asking for, then what this means is that you have to be in alignment and be open to doing things that are in alignment with that manifesting, right? So when we declare that we want to manifest something, that means that we have to take action towards it. There are things that we ultimately have to do, right? We have to change our mindset. We have to change our beliefs. We have to change our perspective on certain things. So that means that we ultimately have to take action towards creating that manifestation that we are wanting to create, okay? And this is beautiful, because I feel like if you don't do these things, then that vision isn't going to take place. It's not going to become a vision at all. It's just going to sort of fizzle out and not really give you ultimately what you are desiring. Okay. So moving on, we have the Death card. Okay. This is all about new beginnings, right? The Death card is all about change, and how change transforms us. And I feel that 2024 is going to be a year of change for you, because there's going to be a lot of things happening and a lot of things changing that ultimately need to transform, right? They need to transform into something different in order for you to have that vision and that master plan created for you. And it's important to recognize that when things transform, that means that an older version of ourselves, like an older belief, has to die. It has to go away. Maybe old relationships have to go away. We have to be willing to let them go in order for us to truly step in to a place where we can then attract the things that we are ultimately in alignment with. Okay. Next, we have the 5 of emotions here. So this is truly indicating to me here, PileTwo, that, when we are going through massive change, massive transformation, sometimes we hold on to things longer than necessary. We hold on to certain beliefs. We hold on to certain people. We hold on to certain relationships far longer than is necessary. And that's because we have formed an attachment to it. And that attachment is ultimately what's keeping us stuck. It's keeping us sort of chained to a certain way of being. And that is what we're needing to overcome. So when you're going through massive change, okay, when you're going through these changes as the year goes on, I want you to not look at what you're leaving behind, not looking at what you've lost. Don't fall into the sorrowness or to the pity of this is what I've gone through, this is what I've lost. I want you to just look forward, look ahead, because there's so much more that will be accessible and available to you when you can just let go of what you're leaving behind. Okay. Next, we have the Hierophant. Okay, the Hierophant is all about beliefs, our limiting beliefs, and it's all about us learning the lessons through our experiences. And I feel that 2024 is going to be the year where you rise above certain limiting beliefs and you let go of old beliefs that no longer serve you. They're no longer in alignment with you, and you're sort of cutting that off and sort of rising above them because you're now rising to a different standard. Right? You're seeing yourself in a different light. You're recognizing that you don't need those beliefs. You don't need those relationships, whatever it might be, because those are just holding you back into an older version of yourself that isn't in alignment with the vision, right? So if it's not in alignment with the vision, this is something that you're going to walk away from and you're going to let go because you're recognizing that, you know what? I don't feel the same way I once did, or this isn't serving me in any way for me to, do what I need to do in order to create what I want to have. Okay. Next we have Knight of Materials. Okay. This is very interesting because what this is saying is that 2024 is going to be the year where you sort of, you're going to cut out a lot. And I feel like it's going to be a lot of relationships. I feel that you've kind of come full circle to the point now where you ultimately know here, PileTwo, that you're no longer going to give of your time and your energy to things that aren't going to grow or expand and be more for you in the future, right? So the Knight of Materials is all about consistency and effort and loyalty, right? And I feel like the more loyal that you are to your own growth and the more loyal you are to your consistent efforts to align to the vision of what you are wanting to have, the more success and growth that you are going to experience. And I feel that, you have to understand that things will blossom in divine timing. They'll blossom in their own time. So you never want to force things to happen, but you want to be consistent in what you are doing, right? So you don't want to be wishy-washy. You don't want to be kind of that in and out energy. You want to be consistent and know exactly what it is that you are doing and be very clear with your desires and your intentions. Last but not least, you have the Queen of Voices, and this is about being very critical of what you are allowing into your life and what you are letting go. The one thing about the Queen of Voices is that she makes her choices based off of her critical thinking skills, and she does not do anything based off of emotional attachments. And I feel that in this particular instance, PileTwo, I think for you, this Queen of Voices is a truth speaker, right? I feel that you need to be very honest. You need to really look at things from a astute perspective. You need to be the leader that you are, and you need to be able to cut through all of the bullshit, right? Relationships, all kinds of things, finances, everything. You need to be able to cut through that bullshit with butter, knife to a butter. I'm still fumbling with my words here, but I'm literally seeing you holding a sword and just slicing through it like butter, right? Through all that stuff and not be emotionally attached to it. Let it go. Let it go. Just cut it all off of you. Let it fall where it may, right? Because this is about you creating a very clear vision about what it is that you are wanting 2024 to look like, right? When you have that clear vision, you have that clear communication, and then you'll know exactly what actions need to take place in order for you to have and start experiencing the life that you ultimately want to have. this isn't about, you know, playing games this year. This is about making very clear, decisive choices. Like, I can't stress that enough for you here, pile 2. This is about making clear cut choices. All right. Moving on. We have the outlaw. Okay. I love this for you, pile 2, because the outlaw is all about being the leader and taking the path less traveled, right? So you're not meant to follow anyone else's path. You're not meant to follow the leader either. You're the leader. You're leading the pack. And this is about you, you know, taking a different course than anybody else that you ever come into contact with, because this is about your vision, right? And your vision is in alignment with you, not with anyone else. Next, we have surrender. Look at this. Look at this. This is all about surrendering. Let go of all the bullshit. Let go of all the excess baggage. Let go of all of the things that are weighing you down, right? Surrender to the universal law of, divine timing. You know, understand that there are so many different universal laws, and each one of those laws is how we ultimately experience the life that we experience. Okay, so if in 2024, you're really wanting to make significant changes, you've got to let go, surrender, just let it all go, right? Next, we have manifest. Look at this. I can't even make this up, pile 2. So yes, what are you wanting? What are you desiring? What is within your vision? What is it that you ultimately want to have, right? Is it a relationship that you're wanting? Is it a career? Is it, you know, finances? What is it? What is it that you want? And this is where you have to be so clear. You have to surrender, right? Surrender to how it's going to come to you. Surrender to what it's going to look like. Just align yourself with the vision of what you're wanting to experience. And let me put it to you this way here, pile 2. The best way for you to align with the vision is really figure out what emotion are you wanting to experience? What emotion is it going to give you? Is it happiness? Is it joy? Is it excitement? Is it exhilaration? Is it anticipation? If it's any of those high frequency emotions, then focus on that. Don't focus on the small little tiny details. Don't focus on what it's going to look like. Because I'm going to tell you right now, when the universe steps in and delivers things to you in divine timing, it's going to look completely different than what you thought it was going to look like, right? And I can tell you from my own personal experience, it is never going to come to you the way that you expect it to. You have to be open to unexpected. You have to be open to so many different possibilities, so many different potentials, because it looks really different. But what is coming to you, what is being, attracting to you is your emotions. That which you vibrate, you attract. So that is key here, okay? Next we have, look at this, versatility. You have to be so flexible, so adaptable to things looking different, coming at you differently, and making their way to you in so many different ways. Again, be open to infinite possibilities and potentials, because there are so many different things that can make their way to you that will give you the same vibration, that will give you the same thing that you are ultimately vibrating or anticipating, okay? Next we have clean it up and time for a nap. Okay, This is pretty easy and self-explanatory for you here, Pile 2. 2024 is going to be the year where not only are you cleaning up all the BS, are you getting rid of all of the old, you're dusting off all of the things that you have just been sitting there collecting dust. Now, this is going to be in your environment, so externally and internally, right? So you're going to want to clean house internally, right? So that means that, all of this, dark, shadow work that you have been sort of avoiding is now the time for you to really explore it and work through it and clean it out. If you have been wanting to like spring clean your house or spring clean your office, this is the year to do it because 2024 is the year of 8 and it is manifestation. It is what you are attracting. Remember, that which you vibrate, you attract. So if all you have around you is clutter and things that no longer serve you, guess what you are going to attract? More clutter, more dirt, more trash, more of the things that you don't want. So you got to clean it up. You got to clear out this space. You got to work on yourself. You got to rest. You got to allow yourself to heal, to repair, to replenish. That's what time for a nap is. You got to allow yourself to make space for all of the good, amazing things that Spirit and the universe has in store for you. Now, your last card for 2024, and I want you to really be very aware here that the two most important cards out of all of the cards that I've just gone through for you here, Pile 2, is going to be the first card, which is the vision, and this last card, because this is going to basically help you put the pieces of the puzzle for what 2024 is going to encompass for you. Your last card is the fertile void. This is about inner winter. This is about rest, patience, potency, secret beginnings. Again, this message is all about, you cleaning up everything up within you, your belief system, the things that you ultimately feel, right? Like being so clear about what it is that you are vibrating, like what vibrations are you emitting outside of you? Because I want you to understand that the things that you experience in your outside world is basically what you are experiencing internally, inside yourself. And this is what most people don't understand. In order for you to experience joy, harmony, and happiness outside of you, you gotta do it within you first. You gotta fix you on the inside. And then, like magic, it will start to manifest outside of you. You'll start seeing it and experiencing it all around you. So Pile 2, this is your message for 2024. I hope that it has provided you with some clarity and some insight. I want to thank you so much for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you next time with your new message. Bye, guys. Hi, Pile 3. Welcome to your 2024 prediction. You have chosen Ascended Master Mataji with the Crimson Cooperite and your message of relief and repair. So Pile 3, I really feel that you all are my light workers of my entire spirit fam. And I feel that if you've chosen this pile, it is because 2023 has been the year that you have really ascended rather rapidly. You have increased your light measurement tremendously, and you have outgrown many different stages of your life rather rapidly. And many of you might be experiencing what I call burnout in the spiritual aspect, because when you grow very rapidly and when you are infiltrated with so much spiritual light, sometimes it can be exhausting. It can be very overwhelming, and it feels like no matter what you do, you cannot recuperate. And so this is why you've chosen this pile, because you are 2024 is going to be the year where you are going to be loved and nurtured and sort of protected by the forces of the Ascended Masters and Mother Gaia, because you are needing extra energy and attention this year. This is going to be the year where you are going to be given a reprieve from everything that you have been going through and growing through, and you're going to be repaired, okay? So the relief and the repair is basically you needing to understand that you are being given warmth and nurturing that will restore and rebalance your body, your mind, and your soul when the light of spirit becomes, when it burns too brightly, when it just becomes too much. Spiritual light is like the light of the sun. Sometimes it can burn you, right? It can be very joyful. It will give you life, but too much can leave you scarred, can leave you burned, right? If that happens to you, sometimes you can get this sense of being overwhelmed, overheated, overexcited, stretched too thin, right? Overstretched mentally, physically, emotionally, right? And it feels like no matter what you do, you just can't seem to get it back. Like you can't seem to get your strength back, or you're like, I'm just so exhausted, okay? And your team is wanting you to know that they're going to help you recover this year, and they're going to increase your ability to be exposed to spiritual light again. So understand that it's going to happen in small increments here. So this year is really about you not becoming overloaded with the spiritual light, or oversaturated, or overburned, right? Or burnt out. So what they want you to know is that 2024 needs to be a year where you soften and you relax into Mother Gaia, right? Into Mother Earth. This is why you got the crimson cuprite, because this is deep rooted, root chakra energy, right? That makes you feel supported, that makes you feel loved and nurtured and cared for, okay? So they want you to know that this is going to nurture you. It is going to restore you, and it's going to help you discharge any excess energy that you might have been carrying, right? I feel that this is also really going to give you a better understanding of what you can tolerate and what you can't tolerate. And I feel that a lot of times when you are ascending, or when you're growing spiritually, sometimes you feel like you can take on the world, but then you take on too much, and then it takes you a long time to recuperate. And, you know, I want you to know, PileThree, that if I were looking at this pick a card, I would choose this deck myself, because I do often feel like, 2023 was a year. Well, actually, for me, it's been several years. But that's because I am, on track to fulfill my purpose and my mission. But I'm not quite ready to share what that is yet. And, I want you all to know that, sometimes we can take on a little too much. And sometimes we need the support of, Mother Earth and our, guides and our angels to help us repair and restore ourselves before we can truly take on more. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive into what else we have for you here. Now, I want to point out that you were the one deck that received more cards than I could possibly imagine for anyone. So again, this doesn't surprise me. So let's go. So first card up is going to be Change Maker, Make Waves. Okay, here is what I feel this is ultimately saying. Because of the type of person that you are, and because you have changed so rapidly, you are now making waves. There are so many things that are going to be happening in your life that are going to sort of feel like things are happening rather rapidly. And I feel like they've kind of already felt that way for you for a while, right? So this is really about sacred activism. And this is about, protecting, Gaia and all life force energies as divine. So it's about speaking your truth, and it's honoring your beliefs. It's being a catalyst, a peaceful warrior, right? Creating extraordinary change. And again, I feel like this is you. This is why I said this pile is my light workers, because you all are making massive changes throughout this world and throughout this planet. And I feel that, you all are my activists. You're taking a stance against, the things that are going on in this world. And a lot of you are speaking your truth, and we need that, right? So know first and foremost that we need you. We need you to continue to do what you love. So feed your artists. This is about you making sure, understanding that 2024 means that you have to continue doing your activism. You have to continue, speaking your truth and creating extraordinary change in this world, because we need that. We need your creativity. Your creativity is ultimately what is creating massive change on the planet globally. And so this is why they want you to know that, even though you are going to still continue to be in the spiritual light, and you're going to be receiving more spiritual light, know that you now have a reinforcement of spiritual beings that are going to be repairing you, restoring you, nurturing you, still giving you the things that you need in order to not feel burnt out, to not feel overstretched, and to not feel like you're doing this alone. Okay. Next, we have collaboration of souls. Okay, I do feel that a lot of light workers on the planet at this time in 2024 are going to be coming together. And I feel that all of that coming together is ultimately going to help the universal consciousness of our planet sort of continue to shift towards the new earth. And again, this is all, this is what's been talked about for so many years, right? So many people have talked about how, in the Bible where it states that only 144,000 souls will be saved when the rapture comes. Well, the thing is that the 144,000 souls are the souls that have that knowledge, that piece of information that is connected so deeply to divine source. And we need those 144,000 souls. And it is all of these light workers that are coming together, that are sparking a light amongst other individuals and creating more light workers and creating more people to be in alignment with the truth, the ultimate truth of what's really going on in our planet and what's really important. And I feel that 2024 is going to be the year where what you do and what you are gifted at is really going to come towards the limelight, and you're going to, gravitate towards other individuals who are doing the same thing, because you're all working towards a common goal, right? So your next card is, what do you really want, right? So I feel it's important that you be very clear about what you want your 2024 to look like, right? And you need to really ask yourself. I think now is going to be the time where you really start deciding what it is that you're wanting this new earth to look like for yourself. And that's when you will start receiving the assistance that you need by calling in other souls to help you and continue to create and mold and enlighten and awaken universal consciousness. So I absolutely feel this is spectacular for you here, PileThree, but let's move on because as I said, you're the one pile that got like a gazillion cards, but it's not surprising. Okay. So we are starting out heavy and strong with the Empress card here. And again, the Empress is all about creation. It's about creativity. It's about, you know, having all, you know, being abundant and prosperous in so many ways. And I feel that, again, this is you here, PileThree. This is you sparking creation in other people, helping them think freely for themselves and not being told what to think or what to believe. And I feel that the more that we open that spark for others, the more we ultimately can shift our consciousness and help Mother Gaia transition to this new earth where we are going. I feel that 2024 for many of us light workers are going to be in hermit mode, right? Where we are going to be doing a lot of introspection, you know, doing a lot of introspection, a lot of soul searching, really digging deep within ourselves to sort of, you know, heal, you know, our last, you know, wounds that have been there, or, you know, last, you know, shadow work, all of that stuff. We're going to continue to really be our own guiding source. We're not really going to be looking outside of us for the answers or the solutions. We're going to be looking inside of us. And I think that's the best way to go about it. I also feel that in 2024 for you here, PileThree, you're going to be making some massive changes. I feel like some of you will experience tower moments that you sort of are not expecting to happen. But when it happens, you're going to be like, oh man, I'm so glad that's over. As I kind of feel like many of you have just sort of been holding out on making some changes that you know are necessary. And I feel that others of you are just like, you know what? I'm so glad I took care of that so long ago. And now I feel like all of the pieces of the puzzle are starting to come together to build the empire, right? To build your force that you have been creating or manifesting. So I do feel that there's two different sets of individuals here with this pile, where some of you have just kind of been holding off on creating this massive change, whether it's, you know, walking out of a career or letting, you know, certain people go in your relationships. I feel some of you have just been holding out to the last minute, and now the universe is sort of stepping in saying, okay, this is it. Like this is it. You got to do this now. And I feel that this is why, you know, some of you are going to be experiencing this tower moment. But once it happens, you're going to be like, oh, I'm so glad that's over, right? Next, we have the Lover's card. I love this because the Lover's card can be viewed two different ways. But the one way that I'm really looking at this is all about choice, right? The choices that we ultimately make that are garnered within our higher calling, our higher self, right? And this is really about following our heart. It's all about, you know, trusting our own senses and our own ability to make conscious choices. And I always view as, you know, the Lovers as, in this particular deck, I view it as, you know, two people who are so unaware of each other are all of a sudden thrown together, right? I feel that you're going to be growing your community a lot more. And you're going to be building community with individuals that you might not have even thought that you would meld with or commune with, right? And I feel like for many of you, that's because a lot of you were so stuck in an old way of being or an old way of thinking. And so now that, you know, you're more in alignment with who you truly are, right? Now that you're more in alignment with who you truly are, now you're going to be making conscious choices and following your heart and following your soul, because now you know that this is exactly where you need to be. And I feel that, you know, wherever you end up in 2024, you're going to know, wow, this is exactly where I need to be because, you know, and you're going to list the reasons why. Like, there's no doubt in my mind you're going to list the reasons why. I feel like there's going to be a lot of partnerships that are going to happen for you in 2024 as well. You know, I feel that this is really about, you know, really being aware of all of the entanglements or the attachments that you have to certain specific individuals. And I feel that, you know, the more that you know, become aware of that, the more you will be able to grow and broaden your horizons when it comes to those partnerships, those soulmates, those kindred souls, right? Next, you have the Three of Cups. I love this. So 2024, Spirit Fam, PileThree, it's really going to be about, you know, your entanglements and what those entanglements look like, but also celebrating new relationships, you know, new partnerships, new companions that you, again, this collaboration of souls, this coming together of like-minded individuals and sort of celebrating all your wins and all your successes. And I think for many of you, it's really going to be about, you know, being open to these new relationships that are built different, that look different and feel different. Okay. Next, we have the Revolutionary. Okay. I said it. This is the one group, PileThree. You're the one group that is going to set the pace for the rest of the world. Okay. You are leading the way. You are making massive changes. You're the one that people are going to look to and say, these people revolutionized our world and made our world in this new earth what it is today. And you're the one that's lighting the way for other people to follow. So you're my change makers. Okay. Next, I have the Seeker. I have the Seeker here, and it came out reversed. So let me look real quickly if it has a reversal meaning. I usually don't read these cards in reverse. I usually read them upright, but if I'm not mistaken, I do feel that they have a meaning for them when they come out reversed. So just bear with me a quick second. Let me look. The Seeker's message is all about reclamation, right? It's not about ridding yourself of like the stress, but remembering your essence, remembering, you know, who you are. So it's a need for energy and movement, right? Vitality and excitement. And so I feel that all of you in this pile are all seekers. You're all also revolutionaries, right? You're all about empowerment, sovereignty, curiosity, and you're feeling confident about navigating both the external and the internal world, right? And I feel that, okay, so there is a significant meaning when it comes out reversed. This means that when it comes out reversed, and I think this is going to be for some of you, not all of you. So if this, you know, sort of resonates with you, then this is your message. So a seeker that is unbalanced will often give their power away to others, right? It will often make them feel restricted. And the important thing to remember that as a seeker, you are all about gathering experiences and wisdom so that you can grow. Right? And so it's all about your growth, you know, not because you believe it to be a prescription to fix any issues that are currently going on, but because you're wanting the experience, you're wanting the growth, you're wanting to understand the depth and the lesson behind it. And so I feel that it's going to be important for you, for those of you that have a tendency to give your power away to others. That is something you need to become aware of here, because your whole purpose here in 2024 is for you to lead the way, to, you know, change the status quo of what's going on in this world and, you know, sort of take the lead and learn from your experiences so that you can give that wisdom to others, okay? As they go through, as they, you know, come up into their awakening and decide, if they're going to want to shift or not. Next, we have the creator. Look at that. All of you are magicians. All of you are creating your life the way that you want it. And I feel that 2024 is the year where you actually truly believe that, where you actually truly believe that you are the creator of your own destiny and you're making these massive changes. Last but not least, the Magi. I love this. So here's what I'm going to say. Because I recently got my certification as a master professional clearer, and I'm going to be doing some videos talking a little bit more about what that is and what that all entails. But when I'm looking at these cards literally in front of me, this is like the literal definition of a golden child, of someone who is here to make massive changes. And for a lot of you, for a lot of us, this is the, different generations where we're all coming in, we're awakening. Some of us have always had these abilities and these powers with us, and we've sort of grown and allowed ourselves to nurture them. For some of us, we're just coming into them, right? I feel that the Magi is all about seeing into the unknown, right? And it's about, being willing to just, overcome this sense of, of what we are and being okay with that, right? I think the important thing here is to recognize that when it comes to the Magi is where you need to really look a little bit deeper, okay? And I feel that sometimes looking a little bit deeper at something that that you don't quite understand is what helps you to become a more enlightened seeker, right? The whole thing about the seeker that I find so fascinating is that, there is a passage in the Bible that says, "Seek and ye shall find." And the whole purpose of that phrase, or that whole line, is for us to seek within ourselves who we truly are. And we are the creator. And sometimes we have to explore really deeply within ourselves to truly challenge the status quo and to really make those massive changes, right? The Magi is all about, understanding knowledge at a much deeper level and having that wisdom at a much deeper level. And I feel for a lot of us, 2024 is really going to be that, where we truly explore things that we never thought we would have ever explored. And for me, it was dark forces. So we will talk more about that in another video. Let's move along here, PileThree. So next up, we have the Fates in reversed with peace. Okay, now the Fates is all about our destiny. Okay, it's all about our destiny and karma, right? And with it being in reversed here, I really feel that we have to understand that karma is very different now than it was a long time ago, right? There are a lot of people that are coming in now that are coming in with no karma, right? I think it's important that you recognize that no one is in charge of your destiny or your fate other than you. You have the key. You're the creator, right? So everything that you experience in your reality is based off of what you are vibrating, what you are attracting, what you believe. Okay. And if you don't believe in fate and you don't believe in destiny, which I don't really feel that any of you in this pile believe that, but I feel that it's important for you to really be very aware of what you think, what you say, and what you believe, right? Because everything that you vibrate becomes a part of your reality. I feel that 2024 is really going to be a year of peace for you. It's going to feel very calming than it has been. I feel that for many of you out in the collective, you all have gone through so many different trials. so many different experiences, have experienced so many different challenging things that many of you are like exhausted, you're tired. And I feel this is the year where you finally have a sense of peace, where you're no longer going through any challenges or having to prove yourself or anything like that. So this is a really good year for you. Next up, we have healing is happening. So many of you are going through massive healing, right? You're needing to learn to trust the process here. And again, it's really about self-care. I feel 2024 is going to be the year of self-care, where you basically understand that you're not broken, that the healing is really a shedding of what is no longer in vibrational alignment with who you really are. And I feel like it's going to be important for you to sort of soften to the belief or the understanding that you are being taken care of and that it is safe to be soft and to be vulnerable. I feel that's ultimately important. And last but not least, we have morning dew. Now, this is about a fresh start. So I feel 2024 is really a fresh start for you. I feel like you're going to have a very positive outlook on 2024, and it's going to offer you so much clarity. Now, I want to point out here, PileThree, that the two most important cards for you out of everything that I've gone over is going to be the first card that we talked about, which was repair and restore, and these last two cards, which is healing is happening and morning dew. If there is anything that you need to know about 2024, just know that you are being supported. You're being taken care of. This is going to be the year where you create a brand new start, a fresh new beginning for you, full of peace, full of deeper understanding, and an ability to just put down your guard a little and let yourself be taken care of. Let yourself be loved, be nurtured, and supported and held. So PileThree, this is going to be your message on your 2024 prediction. I want to thank you so much for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you next time with your new message. Bye, guys. Hi, Pile4. Welcome to your 2024 prediction and what 2024 is going to look like for you and its message. So you chose this beautiful Amazonite crystal mandala with the goddess Rhiannon and the message of integrity. So I feel that 2024 for you here, Pile4, is really going to be about creating harmony between intention, your word, and your action. Now, this is important because I feel that 2024 is the year, is going to be a year 8, which is all about manifestation, prosperity, and really creating the things that we ultimately desire and have. So when you're coming in, when your team is coming in with a message here of integrity, what it's really telling you is that you have to create harmony this year between that which you intend to do, the words that you intend to utilize, and the actions that you intend to take when it comes to what you're wanting to have or create in 2024. Now, it is a discipline of love that creates inner security, confidence, and self-esteem. Integrity allows you to choose what promises you make according to the reasons that have meaning for you. It empowers you to make decisions that feel authentic and that honor your values. It allows you to say no without guilt or shame because you are not willing to compromise who you are to make another person or another thing comfortable. As you honor your words and actions, doing what you say you will do, when you say you will do it, you grow power and respect within. You can express your integrity absolutely, and yet with kindness and compassion. Integrity is the gift that will bring you a powerful peace of mind and a loving, self-respect. So I feel that what 2024 is really offering you here, Pile 4, is an opportunity to have a lot of love and compassion and self-respect for yourself, to honor yourself, to honor your word, to honor your promises, to honor your actions, and to really be intentional with what you are ultimately doing in 2024. Now, as we move on, our next card is, I love this, is move beyond intention to belief. Okay, I love this because your integrity card really spoke about your intentions, your words, and your actions, right? And so if you intend to do something, right, your intention has to really move towards that which you believe about that intention. And I feel that many people don't really understand how vital and how important our beliefs truly are, and how much what we believe truly sometimes can hinder us. It's important that we understand that we all have specific beliefs and traditions that we hold very dear to ourselves. And when we are often, working with others or working within a group, right, we often bring to light our own beliefs and our own traditions, okay? But moving beyond intention to belief is about finding joy in a structured environment where your truth shines through to the world, helping others, right? So it's really about finding the key to your spiritual north and learning how to be your own guru, right? Like learning how to really trust and honor yourself. Again, and we said this earlier with integrity, right? It's really about honoring your word, honoring your actions, honoring your intentions, and really understanding that you hold the key to how you truly believe about yourself. So when you don't honor your words, you don't honor your actions, you don't honor your intentions, what does that really say about you? What does that really speak to your character and to who you are here, Pile 4? So I feel that this is important, right? Because when we all want to have a deep sense of integrity, we want other people to see us as, as having integrity, and that what we're doing is intentional, right? Again, it's all about understanding that we are the key to our own success or demise. It's plain and simple. Next, we have gratitude again. Okay, so I feel like what 2024 is really wanting you to be aware of is that, we cannot blame our circumstances or our situation on anyone other than ourselves. Because, again, if we honor our intentions, our word, and our actions, then we have to be understand that if when we do those things, we understand that we believe ourselves to be of value, right? And I feel that a lot of times if we, want to push blame on someone else instead of recognizing that we're in the situation that we're in because of our actions or because of our words or because what we intended, right? When it's those things, then we have to learn to be grateful for that experience, even when it doesn't go our way. And the reason for that is because gratitude helps us be a little bit more humble, and it helps us become more aware of where we need to grow and what we need to learn, right? And even when things don't go our way, we are truly we're still learning something from that experience. And so I feel that in order for us to really have that sense of integrity here, Pile 4, we have to be willing to be grateful for every experience, even the ones that don't ultimately go the way we want them to go. Next, we have welcome to divine masculine. So again, masculine energy is all about giving, It is about being able to give of ourselves. You know, the words that we use when we're giving compliments or praise, the words that we use when we're criticizing or judging, right? We are giving basically to individuals based off of our actions. We're either helping or we're not helping, right? The intentions, our intentions are ultimately being given out to other people, right? Are we helping to build communities and build things together, or are we building walls and separation? Okay. So I feel that 2024 has a lot in store for you here, Pile 4, about growth and about how you see yourself and how valuable you find yourself, and if you're building a community or if you're building walls. Okay, let's look at the tarot. Now, I will say that you are the one deck that got like so many extra tarot cards. I can't even fathom. You just got so many. Okay, so we're starting off with the Four of Materials here. Now, the Four of Materials is all about our sense of security and stability. It speaks about us being, you know, having this sense of, you know, knowing that we're being taken care of, knowing that we're being, you know, that that everything that we need is there for us, right? But a lot of times we hold on to things, right? So when it comes to the Four of Materials, I think we have to really look at our assets in this perspective, right? So some of us are creating, you know, solid foundations in our finances. Others of us are, you know, trying to sort of step out into a mindset of being abundant and prosperous. And then a lot of us are struggling with sharing our words, our actions, or our intentions, right? So we have to be willing to let go of this mentality of not having enough, or that there isn't enough to go around. And we have to be able to be generous, okay? Having a good sense of integrity here is all about generosity, right? And it's all about giving, right? The masculine world. And it's all about giving of oneself in a loving, generous way without expecting anything in return, because you know that no matter what you give, it will come back to you, right? Because you know that you're secure. You know that you have enough. Like sometimes I feel when people come from a mindset of lack, like there isn't enough, they tend to hoard what they have because they're so afraid that there isn't going to be enough for them, right? And so they end up doing themselves more harm than they do actually good. Next, we have the Seven of Materials. Okay, now this is very interesting because you're starting off here with the Four of Materials, which is all about, you know, being willing to have, you know, a backup plan, but also knowing that you are safe and that you are secure, right? The Seven of Materials is all about needing to take a pause and assessing where you are in your progress. And, you know, it's about manifesting for the future, but also having a sacred space where you put in forth some gratitude, right? So I feel like 2024 is starting out already where you're needing to really explore your beliefs when it comes to your finances or to your relationships or to your assets. You know, where do you need to take a pause? Where do you need to be grateful for what you already have? Where do you need to explore, you know, this belief of, you know, do I need more, or do I already have enough? Am I willing to, you know, can I part with some things that I currently already have and share it with others, right? So next we have the 10 of Inspiration. Now, this is interesting because the 10 of Inspiration is all about, you know, releasing our burdens, right? And this is interesting because notice how she's carrying a carafe, right? She's carrying it, right? And the 10 of Inspirations is all about our burdens and the things that we often carry. And it's about our responsibilities, right? So what responsibilities are you currently carrying here that is maybe too much, right? Like, are you taking on too many responsibilities? Are you seeking other paths that offer help and guidance when it comes to not only yourself, but to others, right? I feel like the most important thing is with the 10 of inspiration here is really about being willing to accept kindness, being willing to accept help when it arises. Because if someone offers you assistance in some way and you have a tendency to say, no, thank you, I'm fine, what is that really saying about you? Are you being truthful and honest with yourself? Is your integrity of your words and your actions and your beliefs aligning with that which you are ultimately trying to create? If you're wanting to create a reality or a life here, Pile 4, where everyone gives and takes equally and evenly, then understand that when someone offers you help, when someone is trying to give you help and you decline it, you are stealing an opportunity for them to be of assistance. Okay, next we have the Muse of Emotions here. Now this is references the King of Cups here, okay? And the most interesting thing that I can tell you about the Muse of Emotions is that, you know, it's all about the compassion and the joy that we often have, the freedom to feel all of the emotions that we have within us as a way to self-discovery, right? So it's about really being, you know, knowing and being in touch with our own desires and being balanced with peaceful emotions about what it is we're desiring and what it is we're wanting. And I feel that 2024 is really it's almost like you're needing to really explore how you really feel about where you are and where you want to go. Next, we have the Nine of Materials. Now, this came out in reversed, okay? Now, you've got a lot of material cards so far. You've got 3 so far, okay? Now, materials is all about your assets and, you know, money, finances, that kind of thing, your sense of security. Now, when it comes to the 9 of Materials in reverse, what this is saying is that it's wanting you to explore ways of being joyful with where you are. Okay, so understand that if emotionally you are not at peace with where you are, how can you change your perspective? How can you change your beliefs? How can you change your intention? How can you change your words and your actions on that, right? And it's really about finding joy. It's about, you know, being okay with where you are, right? When you look at the 9 of Materials in the upright position, it's all about success and it's about the lavish life and wealth and independence. So really ask yourself, you know, what perspective or perception are you needing to change or explore in regards to what you believe about your life and where it is or what you're experiencing. Now, your next 2 cards, you have the Queen of Emotions in reversed with the 7 of Voices in reverse. So these last 3 cards, now mind you, you got 2 additional cards because I usually only pull 5, but you got a total of 7, okay? And for me, 7 is a very sacred number because 7 is all about progress and it's all about our ability to be able to see our progress and trust in the process and also contemplate what changes need to be made. Now, with the Queen of Emotions here in reversed, this is all about you not being satisfied, not being 100% happy with where you are. And emotion speaks all about our emotions, right? The emotions is the cups, right? And I feel like This is really wanting you to explore all of the experiences that you have had where you have viewed them in a very misperceived way. I think that's the best way for me to look at it. Because, you know, one of the things with the Queen of Emotions here is that it offers you an opportunity to have emotional intelligence and to recognize that you can be joyful in those experiences, you can be creative, that all of those experiences are meaningful and that there's a connection and it's building relationships and it's all about self-care and self-love and feminine wisdom. But those are all, when you look at it in a very misconstrued way, then that sort of just goes out the window, right? Now, next you have the Seven of Voices. And the interesting thing for me is that the Seven of Voices for me is the deceit card, right? It's always the card of selfishness and you know, the lying, cheating, stealing card, right? And so I feel that for you here, when you have the Seven of Voices in reverse here, right? Because it is clearly showed up here in reverse. When you have the Seven of Voices card here, this is really talking about the aftermath of illusion, right? So I feel that it's important for you to recognize what illusions are you believing in your life right now that ultimately need to change, right? Because in its upright position, this is really talking about trickery and deception, right? Are you being honest and are you being aligned? Are you paying attention to what's really going on, right? So I feel like if you're not really paying attention, and I feel that's what all 2024 is for you here, Pile 4, you are meant to really pay attention to the trickery, to the thievery of what's being stolen from your life because of your beliefs, because of your traditions, because of your intentions, because of your words, and because of your actions. So I feel that as we explore this a little bit further here, Pile 4, I feel it's important for you to recognize that, you know, the only way that you are going to have the life that you ultimately desire or that you are wanting for 2024 is going to be your sense of integrity, what you believe about yourself, and your willingness to change your intentions, your words, and your actions and your beliefs. Okay, next up, we have trust. Okay, this is important. I feel that what 2024 is really going to teach you, it's going to teach you how to trust yourself, to trust your instincts, to trust in yourself enough to take proper action, to be intentional with your words and your actions, and to have a better sense of integrity when it comes to you and your life. Next, we have patience, right? I think this is probably one of the hardest things ever for many of us. It's learning to be patient and understanding that things have their own timing. There is such a thing as universal timing, right? So our desire of what we want, like right now, when we want that instant gratification, it isn't always going to work. And it doesn't always, you know, happen for us in that way. So I feel that you have to be patient and trust that things will happen in the time that they are meant to happen. Next, we have reclaim. Now, this is all about you reclaiming your power, you being honorable, right? You trusting in yourself enough to say, I deserve this, right? And I am going to protect my power and stand in my power and reclaim my power because that's who I am. Next, you have the Explorer. Now, you got more of these cards as well. Now, the Explorer, again, is all about you exploring what you believe, what you see, and what you feel, okay? I feel like the most important thing for you when it comes to the Explorer is really understanding your true north and really following your true north. No matter what, it's important for you to follow your true north because your true north is ultimately what aligns you to your, to you. It aligns you to your sense of divinity. Okay. And last but not least, we have the weaver. So this is about you, you know, molding and weaving into your everyday experience the realities or the desires that you ultimately want. And I feel like you can create this. You can weave into your life so many beautiful things as long as you believe in yourself to do them. Okay. So next up, pile 4. We have By the Book, Treasure Island, and Chaos and Conflict. Okay. I feel this is pretty self-explanatory here for you, pile 4, but I'm going to sort of break this down for you. Treasure Island is all about the treasure within you. The treasure that it has always been a part of you. I feel that, you know, your sense of integrity is a part of your treasure, right? And when you sabotage yourself, you're stealing from yourself, right? And so I want you to understand that you need to love and honor yourself where you are at this moment. You might not be where you want to be, and that's okay. You're not behind, you're not doing anything wrong, or you're not, let me rephrase that. You're not behind and you're, you know, not incompetent. I feel that what you're needing to understand with Treasure Island is that, you know, you are the treasure, and everything that is within you can be shared with everyone outside of you. But you have to learn to share it with you first, right? I feel like you've been following traditions and beliefs for a very long time. And I feel that you don't feel like it's right for you to break away from those traditions or break away from those beliefs. But you have to ask yourself, you know, you have to really explore deep within yourself if those beliefs or traditions even align with you anymore. Because if they don't, then that's why you need to cut them off and let them go. You need to change your actions and change your words. The more that you hold on to something that isn't meant to be a part of your life anymore, that creates a lot of chaos and a lot of conflict and a lot of turmoil. And all of that causes a lot of doubt and a lot of confusion. And then you end up not really trusting yourself because you feel lost, you feel broken, you feel like you're not where you're supposed to be. But the reality is you're exactly where you're supposed to be. And when things like this come up, they come up because you're needing to be made aware of it so that you can recognize, okay, what is it about this that doesn't feel like it's in alignment with me anymore? And how do I move from out of alignment to alignment? Okay. Understand that the chaos and the conflict that comes up is only there to help you uncover and unmask what's really going on and what and who you really are. Now, your last card. Now, I want to point out, and I've said this for all of the decks, okay, all of the piles in today's reading, in today's pick a card. The 2 most important cards for you out of all of the cards that I've just gone over is going to be your first card, which was the card of integrity, and this last card. And this last card is Rose Without Thorns. And its message is you have a right to your joy. You have a right to peace, and you have a right to enjoy the sweetness of life. I want you to understand, Pile 4, that the reason you feel like your life is full of so many conflicts, so much chaos, so many thorns, so many challenges is because of your actions. It is because of the words that you use. It is because of your sense of integrity. And you deserve so much more, but you have to be willing to honor yourself, to honor your sense of integrity, to honor your words and your actions in order to make change and a difference. So Pile 4, This is your message for 2024. I want to thank you so much for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you next time with your new message. Bye, guys.